The truth will set you free, with Hector Melo.
Humanity have been visited by extraterrestrial beings since the beginning of history. All of those contacts are known as close encounters. Today we are going to study the most famous close encounters in history. Stay tuned. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to The Truth Will Set You Free. Once you do that, now we are ready to proceed. Certainly, planet Earth has been visited by entities from other galaxies, and each of those visitations are considered to be close encounters. But let's take a look into its own definition. In ufology, a close encounter is an event in which a person witnesses an unidentified flying object, UFO. We know that every time a visitor from another planet or galaxy gets into contact with an alien human, it is considered a close encounter. But what kind of close encounters exist? Close encounter of the first kind. Visual sighting of an unidentified flying object, seemingly less than 500 feet, 150 meters away, that show an appreciable angular extension and considerable detail. Close encounter of the second kind, a UFO event in which a physical effect is alleged. This can be interference in the functioning of a vehicle or electronic device, animals reacting, a physiological effect such as paralysis or heat, and discomfort in the witness, or some physical trace like impressions in the ground, scorched or otherwise affected vegetation, or a chemical trace. Close encounters of the third kind, UFO encounters in which an animated entity is present. These include humanoids, robots, and humans who seem to be occupants or pilots of a UFO. Close encounters of the fourth kind is a UFO event in which a human is abducted by a UFO or its occupants. Remember that most of the content discussed on the Truth Will Set You Free channel are material taken from the book What Really Happened by Hector Melo. The same can be found by clicking on Hector Melo's book icon at the home page of this channel, or by clicking on the link found on the description of this video. What Really Happened recounts the secret history of humanity and reveals the true identity of the gods of antiquity. You may also find other books being written by this author, including his Anunnaki saga, Anunnaki the Creation, Anunnaki War of Gods, and Anunnaki the Rebellion. For these and more, please visit www.lulu.com. In 1942, an American man was walking on the streets in Tianjin, China. He took a picture to something described as a huge flying hat. You can see the details of this in the picture. This picture shows the sighting of several UFOs seen from Windsor Castle on August 18, 1783. This was witnessed by Thomas Sadby and his brother Paul, both founders of the Royal Academy. This picture was taken on February 25, 1942, in Los Angeles, California. Among fear and curiosity, many people witnessed this close encounter of the first kind. If you are a fan of the ancient astronauts, the unknown and mystery, you will love to take a look at some cool stuff made for you. Just visit the official Hector Melo shop. You may find there items based on those characters that we love. The Anunnaki, the Alpha Centaurians, the Zeta Reticulans, the Pleiadians, the Orions, the Olympians, the Shivarus, and more. Please visit www.cafepress.com/shop/Hector Melo. Cool t-shirts, mugs, apparel, and more. www.cafepress.com/shop/Hector Melo. Next, we show a picture taken in 1930 in Alaska. This shows what is to believe an extraterrestrial creature. Remember that back in those days there were not any photo editing tool nor even softwares for such. On February 28, 1904, the crew of the U.S. Supply witnesses many UFO flying around. Some of those extraterrestrial craft were egg-shaped and emitted bright light as well. Now we show you an image found in the book Liber Chronicarum. The same describes a UFO sighted in 1034. It was an elongated craft that also emitted colorful lights. Remember, subscribe to this channel, hit that button. Now we can continue. The following picture shows another close encounter. This time was on Basel, Switzerland, August 7th, 1556. The sky was crowded with several UFOs. Now we show you an image depicting a close encounter that was sighted on April 4th, 1561 in Nuremberg, Germany. The sky at that day was displaying several extraterrestrial spacecraft flying all over. Notice the different kind of craft and also their colorful lights too. Now we are going to show some pictures from what is known as the famous Miracle of the Sun in Fatima, Portugal. There was a series of successive close encounters of many kinds. Even though the events were misinterpreted by religious people, now we know there was in fact an extraterrestrial contact. It is believed that around 100,000 people witnessed the encounter. Remember to follow us on our social media: XCOM, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, TikTok, and Discord. Don't forget to follow. Now let's study another curious case. This time the witness was an emperor. Yes, we refer to Alexander the Great. He was leading his army when suddenly many UFOs appeared above them in the skies. The witnesses described the extraterrestrial spacecraft as flying shields. Another proof of the efficiency of the psychological aspect of the ancient man theory, since the interpretation is quite logical and accurate. Next, we are going to talk about another close encounter. This time is found on the Christopher Columbus Journal. It describes many unidentified submerged objects, USO. Since the witnesses ensured those spheric-shaped spacecraft were launching into space coming from underwater. In this same journal recounts a story concerning the Taino people, the ancient settlers of the Caribbean islands. The same asked Columbus if he and his crew also came from the star as the Semi, their gods. The following is a testimony taken from Loris Capobilla, the helper of Pope John XXIII. We saw a spaceship over our heads. It was oval and had flashing blue and amber lights. The account of the assistant of the Pope emphasized that the ship soon landed and rested on the south lawn of the garden. A strange being came out of it. He seemed like a human, except that he was surrounded by a golden light and had large elongated ears. His Holiness and I knelt down. We did not know what we were seeing, but we knew that it was not of this world, so it should be a celestial event. We prayed, and when we raised our eyes, the being was still there. This was proof that we were not having a vision. The Holy Father stood up and walked toward the being. The two talked for about 20 minutes. They did not call me, so I stayed where I was, and I could not hear anything that they said. Finally, the being turned around, walked toward the ship, and left. His Holiness came back and told me that the children of God are everywhere. and sometimes we have difficulty recognizing our own brothers. Hi, this is Hector. If you really want to help us to make this channel to grow, you may consider making a donation to the Truth Will Set You Free PayPal account, which is hmelo25@yahoo.com. Thank you. We really appreciate your contribution. Finally, we'll leave the best for last. Next, we're going to show you the most ancient close encounter of the third kind in history. Of course, we refer to the book of Ezekiel from the Bible. It clearly describes a wheeled spacecraft. As I watched the four creatures, I saw something that looked like a wheel on the ground beside each of the four-faced creatures. This is what the wheels looked like. They were identical wheels, sparkling like diamonds in the sun. It looked like they were wheels within wheels, like a gyroscope. Certainly, planet Earth history recounts several close encounters of the first, second, third, and even of the fourth kind. Those visitations of extraterrestrial beings on Earth are a recurring event. Please comment below. Thanks for watching. The Truth Will Set You Free. See you next time.